dudes, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to show you guys how to prepare your car for a car show. As you can see behind me, I've got this lovely Golf R32 in for detail. I'm only going to do the exterior, so I'm going to walk through with you guys and show you guys exactly how I prepare a car for a car show. This car is going for not German versus chap. Actually, the car is going for Camp Fest or Vdub Fest, which is in 2 weeks, and I'm prepping it this week. I've got another car in next week that you guys will also see on the channel, but I'm going to go through, wash this car now. Once it's washed, I'll pull it in and then I'll show you guys all the other steps. I'm not going to show an in-depth view on how to clean the wheels and the wheel arches as well as washing the car. I will link them up in this corner if you guys want to go ahead after this video and watch the full-length videos on how to do it with explanations in depth. But for now I'm just going to run through it, and then once we get to the decontamination and polishing stages, I'll explain a bit more of that. So with the car washed and dried, the next step is going to be to clay the entire surface of the vehicle. I clay all the painted surfaces, including the glass, and it makes quite a big difference to lift above surface contamination off the car before you start polishing. There's 3 different grades of clay. You get a fine, a medium and a coarse. To be honest, I would recommend for you guys to use a fine if you're not experienced with clay, because claying the car will mar the paint, I promise you. I'm using a medium grade clay, and currently this is what it looks like. I've just clayed a small section here. That's what it looks like, and there's the before condition why I haven't clayed the car. So you can definitely see that the clay is marring the paint now. It's not deep scratches, you polish them out extremely easy. So basically this is the dirt that I pulled off in that small section which you guys just saw me do. What I'll do is I'll reform the clay. After folding up the clay to get a clean surface, I'll make it flat just so it fits in my hand again, and then I will continue to do the entire vehicle. This, what I'm using, is what we call clay loop. It's basically, it helps the clay to glide on the surface because this is very sticky in itself. That's why I say it will mar the paint. It depends on the surface and the grade of clay that you use, but 90% you are gonna scratch your paint. I would actually not recommend using clay without polishing afterwards. So this is the end of the one. I'm so tired, it's extremely hot. I hope you guys can hear me just fine. The fan is on behind you, so I'm hoping that you don't catch the wind noise. But anyways, so today I cleaned the wheels, I washed the car, and I decontaminated the paint. There's a couple of things that I want to mention to you guys before we actually head on over to the polishing stage, which is number 1, please don't ever wash your car in the sun like you saw me did today. I've been doing it for a long time, so I know how to do it. I waited till about to 4:30, just before 5, so the sun wasn't too hot. But you also saw me working fast, and I immediately pulled the car into the garage once I was done washing to dry it inside. You will get water spots if you wash your car in the sun. Just stay away from it, it's not good. Then the other thing that I wanted to discuss quickly was the claying. I mentioned it earlier. Claying will mar your paint. There's absolutely no doubt in it. Depending on how dirty the paint is, the dirtier it is, the quicker it will mar the paint. If your paint is not dirty, the chance of you marring your paint with a fine clay bar are very slim. But like I said, I don't like to clay a car without polishing, so I would not advise it to you guys. Even if you do a hand polish, I don't know how many of you watching this has got a proper polisher, either a DA or rotary or whatever you guys want to use. Detail your cars by hand, I'm not sure, but I will show you tomorrow how to use. I've got a DA, so I will show you how to use a DA, the basics of using a DA. And then the other thing that I want to discuss was, I get a lot of questions from you guys asking me if I could teach you guys how to detail your cars. To be honest, I'm not a teacher. I've never been a teacher. I can't give you classes, if I can put it like that, on how to detail your car. But I would like for you guys to, if you watch my videos, take note of how I detail the cars. Like when I wash the car, take note of how I foamed it up twice. The reason for foaming it twice, let me quickly break it down for you guys. The first time that I foam the vehicle is to make sure that all the dust that's on the surface comes loose. So the foam that I spray on the soap, it actually attacks all the dirt that's on the vehicle, and that makes it break loose from the surface. So by the time that I put my hands on the car, I'm hoping that most of it is either off from rinsing afterwards, or that it's broken loose, so it's not stubborn on the surface anymore. So that's the idea of doing it, the first one. And then the second time that I foam the vehicle, it's purely for me to get some lubrication when I wash the car. You'll see the second foaming was not as heavy as the first one, because I didn't want to break anything loose from it. So it was purely for me when I touch the car to make sure that there's extra lubrication. Now a lot of people advise to only foam it once. You can do whatever you like. I like to foam it twice, so that's why I do it. That's my reasoning behind it. And then I also hope you guys take note of how I wash the car from the top down, and I would only go in vertical and diagonal. I won't go in circles, and I would leave the bottom for very last. You guys would have seen me use one bucket today. On cars that I detail, I don't use a 2-bucket system because I don't see the need for that. I have my grid card in the 1 bucket, and that's sufficient. I mean, I judge the surface of the car before I start washing and stuff. So if the car is scratched up, I'm not going to induce any more scratches to it by doing a 1-bucket wash method, but I would not advise you guys to do it. I've been doing this for close to 7 years, so I know exactly what I'm doing. And also, this car wasn't too dirty. If the car is dirty, I would obviously still use 2 buckets to wash it. If it's a previously detailed car that's back in for some maintenance work that doesn't need heavy polishing and stuff, I will make use of 2 buckets again. But this car, the damage on this car is, the condition is terrible. I can show you guys. I will actually after this go over the entire car, but I hope you guys can see. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but the condition is quite terrible at the moment. Someone clearly hacked the paint before me. Let me quickly grab the camera and show you guys what I'm talking about. You can clearly see there how someone has hacked the paint. There is clearly buffer marks, and if I switch, or if I close that door and I close the door there, and it's dark in here, you'll be able to see there should be buffer trails. I noticed some buffer trails on the bonnet, so there is some buffer trails on the bonnet that I'm aware of, although it's not throughout the entire car, but I can see them here. So that's why I say 1 bucket wash method I'm still thinking of how I wash the car. I'm not doing stupid stuff like picking up dirt in the bottom and coming back up here. I will never do that. And then another thing you must take note of is the way I dry the vehicle. You saw me use a leaf blower. I always advise to use a leaf blower to get the water out of all the creases and stuff, to get it out. And then I'll start drying, and then take note of how I dry the windows first. All the windows, because windows gets water spots a lot easier than paint. So I will always dry them first, and then I will move over to the paint, generally starting from the top down again. And you don't want to use any pressure when you dry. You want to wet your towel. You saw me spray some drying aid on the towel there, just to make sure that when I dry it, I don't leave streaks, that I dry it completely dry, and I don't have to rub the paint to get it dry. I do one wipe and it's dry. Some spots I will flip the towel over and I'll do a second wipe, but not always. So that's basically small things that I want you guys to take note of. Like I said, I can't teach you guys, I can't give you classes, but if you watch my videos intensely, you'll pick up how I do certain things, and you could get pretty far by just learning my methods of how I do things. I promise you will get far in the detailing game if you just use the methods that I use or do what I do. But next up, it's going to be tomorrow morning. I'm going to start polishing the paint. Unfortunately, this car's only here for a single step correction, so will we be able to lift all the damage? No, there's not a chance. From me judging the paint, there's not a chance that I'll be able to lift all the damage with a single step, but I can tell you that we'll get about 80% correction on this, which is fairly good. The car will be completely transformed. You won't notice the car when it's finished. So the reason, or the way that I'm going to attack the polishing is going to be, I'm obviously going to do test spots. I always do test spots on each car, but I'm most probably going to be using a medium pad, a medium cutting pad, so not a pad that's too aggressive, with a mixture of coarse cutting compound and medium compound on the pad. So it's not going to be too aggressive, but there will be some cut to it. And then the reason for me using a polishing compound with a cutting compound on one pad is that it finishes up better than just having a cutting compound on there. In my head, I've already broken down the method that I'm going to use, but we'll see tomorrow when I do a test spot. But that's going to be it for now. I'll catch you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Good morning, you guys, welcome back. Let's go ahead and inspect the paint and then we can start polishing. To explain the paint condition to you guys, this was marring caused by the clay, all of these on the outer edges, and there you'll see as I move the camera along, those were caused by the claying. Like I said, this car was very dirty, so pulled off a lot of above surface contaminants, and that's what scratched the paint so easy. But these lines that you see there is actually caused by a buffer, so that's what we call buffer trails. You can see it moving there. That is a polisher burning the paint. You can see it running up there. If I go over to this corner, you can see how bad it is in there. You can actually see how scratched up it is. So that is by either a too aggressive polishing method or not using the correct techniques. I'm going to try and show you guys now how I go about polishing the paint. I'm going to do a small test spot in that corner. I'll show you guys exactly how I lay the polisher down on the paint, and notice my hand speed that I'm using as well. If I lay the pad down on the surface, you want to ensure that the pad is flat on the surface. You don't want to keep your polisher angled or anything like that and make use of slow hand movement. So I'm going to do a quarter of the bonnet, and then we'll see after that what it looks like. for those of you who's not aware of what I did just now, basically what I did was, after the polish, I cleaned the paint with isopropyl alcohol or eraser. Basically what that does is it cleans all the oils off the paint, just to ensure that when I wax the car, I'll get maximum adhesion from the wax onto the paint. I'm going to use Colonite 845 for this specific one, but the paint is looking great. It's as clean as it will be, and it's ready for a wax now. So the way I'll do the wax is I'm going to split the car up into 3. The whole nose will be one third. I'm going to apply the wax now and then give it a couple of minutes to sit. I won't give it too much time to sit on the surface, because the longer you leave it on the surface, the more dust it will attract, and by the time that you come to wipe it off, there will be dust on the surface, and you'll mar the paint once again with that dust that settles on the surface. So I'm gonna put it on, gonna give it 2-3 minutes thereabouts. Once it starts to harden, I'm gonna take it off immediately. I'm finally done with this vehicle. It took me about 15 hours to get the whole car detailed, and I honestly hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys can use some of the methods and stuff that I shared with you to get your cars ready for car shows, to get them in a better condition before you go to a car show. I know there's a lot of stuff that I did not cover, but unfortunately if I have to cover everything in one video, it's going to be more than an hour's video. I mean, I've done this for about 6 years, so I can't teach you everything that I've learned in 6 years in one video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't click out yet. There will be some after footage of the car outside in direct sunlight right after this talk, so you guys can see what the after condition looks like. Keep in mind, like I said, this is a single step detail, so no multi-step paint corrections, no ceramic coatings, nothing crazy. This is actually this is my second smallest package that I did, but I just want to show you guys how stunning this car actually looks. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below, let me know, and I will assist you guys as far as possible. Other than that, I will have videos of how to wash your car properly and how to clean your wheels, and a couple of other videos linked in the description, as well as the first comment that you see in the comment section will be links to other videos of mine. So if you got some time, if you want to learn more stuff, go and check those videos out. Share this with your friends, please, and consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. That's gonna be it for this video though, guys. Peace out and reflect your passion.